Sometimes in life, we find ourselves feeling stuck, like we're running on a treadmill that never moves us forward. And it's one of the most frustrating emotional states a person can experience. We wake up, go through the motions of our day, maybe go to work or school, interact with people, and yet deep inside, there's a nagging feeling that nothing is really changing, that we're trapped in the same cycle over and over again. Why do we feel this way? Well, there are a lot of reasons. One of the biggest is that our brains crave growth, progress, and meaning, but our day-to-day routines often leave little room for those things. We set goals or dream about where we want to be, but then fear, procrastination, or even self-doubt can paralyze us. Sometimes we don't take the steps we need to move forward because we're afraid of failing, and ironically, that fear keeps us in the same place we desperately want to leave. Other times, we feel stuck because we're comparing our journey to others, and when we see people our age, even younger, reaching milestones we haven't achieved yet, it can create a sense of inadequacy. That comparison can make us believe we're behind in life, even though everyone's timeline is different. Feeling stuck can also come from not having clarity about what we truly want. Maybe you're working hard, but toward something that doesn't actually fulfill you, so it feels like effort without purpose. Or maybe you're waiting for the perfect moment to start chasing your dream, when you'll have more money, more time, more confidence, but that moment rarely arrives. It's also possible to feel stuck because of our environment, the people we're surrounded by, the routines we've built, or the habits that keep us comfortable but unchallenged. Growth happens when we step outside of our comfort zone, but that's also where things feel uncertain and risky, so most of us avoid it. Another reason we feel stuck is because of unresolved emotions, past failures, regrets, or even trauma that holds us back subconsciously. We might not realize it, but our mind keeps replaying old stories, whispering to us that we're not capable of change, so we believe it and stay where we are. And yet, the truth is, feeling stuck is not the same as actually being stuck. Most of the time, we have options, but we're blinded to them because of our own fears or limiting beliefs. The feeling of being stuck is like standing in a room with the lights off. You forget that the door is right there, waiting for you to open it. The way out often starts with self-awareness, with asking ourselves, what exactly is making me feel this way? Is it my career, my relationships, my health, or simply a lack of purpose? Once we start identifying the source, we can take small, consistent steps to change it. Feeling stuck doesn't mean we're failing, it often means we're on the verge of a breakthrough, that our mind and body are telling us it's time for growth, for a new chapter, for something different. And while it's uncomfortable, it's also a signal, a message from within that says, you're ready for more. The key is not to ignore that message, but to face it with courage. Because the truth is, we only remain stuck if we choose not to move. The moment we decide, even in the smallest way, to change our perspective, try something new, or take one step toward a different path, we begin to free ourselves. Have you ever had that heavy feeling like you're stuck in the same place, no matter how much you want things to change? You wake up, go through your usual routine, maybe head to work or school, come back home, scroll on your phone or watch something, and before you know it, another day has passed that looks almost identical to the one before it. You tell yourself tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow ends up feeling the same. That cycle can feel draining, and what makes it worse is that feeling stuck isn't just about boredom, it's about sensing that your life isn't moving forward, that your potential is going unused. When you're caught in that headspace, even small decisions or simple actions can feel overwhelming, and it's easy to start believing that maybe this is all there is. But here's the truth. If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. In fact, nearly everyone experiences this at some point in their life. It's part of being human, but understanding why it happens is the first step toward moving through it. One of the main reasons we feel stuck is because our brains naturally crave progress. We are wired to want growth, challenge, and purpose. When we aren't pursuing something that excites us or gives us meaning, we start to feel restless. Being busy doesn't solve this. Many people spend their days rushing from one task to the next. But busyness isn't the same as progress. Another reason is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making the wrong choice. Fear keeps us inside our comfort zones. And while the comfort zone feels safe, it's also where nothing changes. Sometimes we also feel stuck because we lack clarity about what we truly want. You might be chasing a career path because someone else told you it was right for you, Or you may be following a life plan that looks good on paper, but doesn't actually bring you joy. That misalignment creates a sense of emptiness, like you're walking down a road that doesn't lead to where you really want to go. And of course, comparison plays a role too. When we see other people online achieving milestones, whether it's success, money, relationships, or lifestyle, it can make us feel like we're behind everyone. Though life isn't a race and everyone's timeline is different. But here's the interesting thing. Feeling stuck isn't always a bad sign. In fact, it's often a signal from your mind and body that you're ready for something new. Think about it: if you were truly comfortable, if everything in your life was aligned, you wouldn't feel restless, you'd feel at peace. That nagging feeling of being stuck is often a message that you've outgrown your current situation, just like outgrowing a pair of shoes that once fit perfectly, but now feel too tight. The discomfort pushes you to change, to stretch, to grow. The problem is, most of us don't recognize it that way. Instead, we tell ourselves we're weak, that something is wrong with us, or that we've failed. But in reality, nothing is wrong. You're just evolving. That stuck feeling is proof that you're meant for more, and your inner self knows it. So the question becomes, how do we get unstuck? The first step is awareness. Take some time to ask yourself, where do I feel most stuck? Is it in my career, my relationships, my health, or maybe just my sense of purpose? Naming the problem is powerful, because you can't change what you don't understand. The second step is to start small. Many of us stay stuck because we're waiting for one huge breakthrough, but change usually comes from tiny, consistent actions that compound over time. Pick up a new hobby, read a book that challenges your thinking, or reach out to someone who inspires you. Even small actions shift your perspective and remind you that movement is possible. The third step is to examine your environment. If the people around you are negative, unsupportive, or stuck themselves, it's going to be harder for you to grow. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better, who remind you that progress is possible. And finally, learn to embrace imperfection. A lot of us don't move forward because we're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect confidence. But the truth is, perfection is just another form of procrastination. Growth is messy. Progress is uncomfortable. But that's exactly how you move forward. So if you're feeling stuck right now, I want you to remember this. It doesn't mean your life is broken, and it doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're ready for something more. Feeling stuck is like standing in a dark room. You might feel trapped, but the door is already there. You just need to flip on the light to see it. That light is self-awareness, courage, and small daily actions. The moment you start moving, even in the smallest way, you prove to yourself that you're not trapped. You're not behind. You're not powerless. You're simply on the verge of your next chapter. That feeling you have right now, that weight of being stuck, is actually a sign that you're meant to grow into a bigger version of yourself. So don't ignore it, listen to it, use it, and let it push you forward. Because being stuck isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of your transformation.